Okay, today we're looking at the launch firmware of the DJI Osmo Pocket versus the latest update, version 01.03.00.20. And we're going to see how it compares when face tracking a person, in this case my wife. And in the firmware notes they mentioned that it was better at locking on and keeping track of a person's head and shoulders. And we're going to compare these two videos side by side. On the left, we'll see her shopping at Target, and on the right, we'll see her shopping at an Asian store. And we'll compare how the tracking goes. Right away, you can see on the old firmware, she immediately got lost among the items in the background, such as, in this case, clothes, or later on you'll see things like racks or any number of items, and so you see me constantly having to reset the tracker to stay on her face. Well, her head is what I was going for at the time, and the box was constantly changing and shifting shapes. And on the one on the right, other than where you saw me play with the flip feature, it's pretty solid. I mean, it does lose her when she goes completely off frame, and later on you'll see where she goes past the there's some equipment in the fish shop and it loses track of her, but overall that doesn't happen anywhere near as much as it did on the original firmware. So kudos to DJI on these optimizations. I also wanted to point out how much more difficult it was for the system to lose track of her. And I wanted to also mention that the tracking box did not change shape as much as it did on the previous firmware. It did, once it figured out where her head and shoulders were, it did expand itself to follow those completely, but it didn't start expanding itself on every item in the background. And when she started passing people, it did a better job of not switching to the person who crossed in front of her. And so with that, I wanted to thank you for watching this brief video on the changes in the firmware for the DJI Osmo Pocket. And I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you.